was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis when she was just 4 months old. It is a condition that has made it impossible to work full-time, impossible to get health insurance. Her lungs will deteriorate with age, and so at age 27, Tiffany Tate needs a lung transplant. But in our third story, if all that were not enough, add one new obstacle, because Tiffany Tate lives in Arizona, and she is just the latest person to fall victim to Governor Jan Brewer and the death panel. She joins me in a moment. As we have reported on this news hour, Governor Brewer and state Republican lawmakers have cut funding for Arizona's Medicaid program Access, thus denying life-saving organ transplants to low-income patients. Governor Brewer calls the program a Cadillac plan and has defended her death panel by explaining that transplants qualify as Cadillac and optional care. Tell that to the families of Francisco Felix and Randy Shepard. Both men were stripped of their state Medicaid coverage. Now they're trying to cobble together hundreds of thousands of dollars for the organ transplants they need. You, our viewers, have stepped up to help those men, giving over $110,000 to the National Transplant Assistance Fund on their behalf. The organization helps raise money for transplants, giving Francisco Felix, Randy Shepard, and the woman you're about to meet, Tiffany Tate, some hope. You can donate to one of their funds or to anyone's at ntafund.org, and the number 800-642-8399. Joining me now, as promised, Tiffany Tate. She's been denied money for the lung transplant by the state of Arizona. Thanks for some of your time tonight, Tiffany.
Thank you for having me.
First off, how are you feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. Winter time is a little bit harder for me, but I'm definitely hanging in there.
You were an avid athlete in high school, and you're now a volunteer coach with the high school girls basketball team. So obviously, in spite of this diagnosis, you've tried to lead as active a life as possible. But can you give us a sense of how this disease, how cystic fibrosis has affected you and your family?
Well, I didn't, when I was younger, I, was born with it basically, and, it's a genetic disease. So, when I was younger, I didn't really feel the effects. I knew I had to do breathing treatments every day. My mom made sure I took care of myself, but they treated me as normal as possible and let me play every sport I wanted to play, and I followed my brother in his footsteps of playing. He's 4 years older than me, and so I played, and then it was about high school that I started to really realize that I just couldn't keep up as well as, the rest of the kids. I was on varsity as a freshman, and, our team was very, very good. We won back-to-back state championships my freshman and sophomore year, and it definitely took a toll on me as far as I was roughly around 45 to 50% at that point in high school, and then it's just kind of slowly progressed ever since, and now, I'm at that point, and the doctors talked to me about, possibly getting a lung transplant, because I'm at that point in my lung capacity. I'm only at roughly 25% lung capacity left.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's...
So they put you on this list in April, and then in August you get this letter from the Access people, the local Medicaid, telling you that you would no longer be covered. Can you give us some sense of what that letter felt like to receive?
Yeah, I got the letter. It was incorrect, the letter that we got. They said they weren't going to cover my liver transplant, which would be great. I'm not asking for a liver transplant, but it was tough. It was tough because from April to August, I really got to talk to a lot of transplant survivors and a lot of people that just said how amazing they feel after transplant and the life that they get to live after transplant, being able to hike and do all those things. It got me really excited to know that I was going to be able to get my new lungs and do things that I've never done. And, to hear that was absolutely devastating, to know that I wasn't going to, I wasn't going to get it. So.
The governor, although there has been a lot of motion in Arizona towards going back and putting everybody who was taken off the list, and 100 or so people who were taken off these lists, putting them back on, the governor has refused to call the special legislative session to reverse the decision now, and she defended the budget cut, and the statement was the state only has so much money. You have the floor. Is there anything you'd like to say to her or to the members of the legislature in Arizona?
I just want to ask, where in the budgets, where is that more important than a human's life?
I don't think it has to be more expansive than that. Last point, a positive point. Your basketball team has been extraordinarily supportive of you. Again, you have the floor. What would you like to say to your girls?
I'm just blessed to be a part of the Seton community at Seton Catholic High School. They've embraced me, and we're a big, huge family there, and I love all my kids, and I love that high school. I mean, they're just a huge part of my life, and they make me, you know, just feel so happy to be alive, and they give me a purpose to help them and to, you know, mentor to them as young women, and it's just, I'm just extremely lucky to still be able to have a part in the passion of my life, which is basketball, and to be able to help young women in their journey in their lives.
Tiffany Tate, the assistant girls basketball coach at Seton Catholic Prep. I don't know what to say besides thanking you for being so forthright and public about this, and on behalf of our viewers, to wish you the best.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Of course.